Hello, you're watching Birmingham City News, live at 6 o'clock with me, Alex Sharp. Over the past few weeks, students have been busy campaigning for your votes in the Birmingham City student elections. After a fierce campaign involving the most politically minded individuals still in education, voting closed on Friday the 1st of March at 2 p.m. Students were encouraged to vote by either using the website or visiting a polling site on each campus. More on this story later. In other news, university officials have been attempting to improve fitness levels of students by offering free activities across the city. Kickboxing is now available at Perry Bar campus Wednesday night from 7 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. Also, rock climbing sessions are now taking place at Red Point Climbing Centre, Cecil Street, Birmingham. A regular bus service is in operation from Perry Bar and Millennium Point on Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. Finally, in sports news, the Birmingham City Rugby Union first team lost to Bedford Luton First, who are currently bottom of the league, by 22 to 24. The match was played at home in late February. Current league standings show that this loss has put City dangerously close to the relegation zone. Nottingham's fifth team are currently top of the league with 28 points. Second place is currently tied between Derby Buxton second and Wolverhampton first. Both have 22 points. Worcester second take third place with 18 points. This year's student election brought in a record-breaking result. We now go to Millennium Point for more on this story.
As far back as 1971, when Birmingham City University was just a polytechnic, there has been a great history of fierce student elections and political challenges. In the recent election, Joe Boyd, the previous campus engagement officer, broke the records for number of votes, attaining 1,014 votes, beating newcomer Chris Moss by 508 votes. With over 24,000 students and a new £125 million campus soon to be opened, he will no doubt face some important challenges in the coming year. I joined Joe and Vice President John Duddy of the Student Voice to ask about their campaigns and their plans for the future.
So John, how does it feel to have won the election?
I'm glad to know that students feel the same way I do about Student Voice and that they're behind me and support me in what I plan to do. And first, I also just feel incredibly lucky.
Student Union President, how does it feel to have achieved such a great victory?
Well, it feels amazing. I'm so happy that a lot of people have put their faith in me to vote for me. But I'm feeling the pressure a little bit now because I'm going to be starting the job in the summer, and I'm going to have to work hard to repay the faith that's been put in me.
But now that you have won, what are your plans for the future?
I'd like to try and take the emphasis away from City North. Too many of the sports teams and societies always meet at City North. All the events only happen up here, and it's what all that. There's 6 campuses in the city centre, and they're always saying that everything happens at City North. So I think it's about time that we move things down here for the whole year.
That sounds great. Congratulations on your win, Joe, and back to you in the studio.
That was our political correspondent Joshua Todd there. Now we cut to Dan Millman for a special report. Hello Dan, can you hear us?
Thanks Alex. Yep, I'm here at New Street Station in Birmingham, where construction is currently underway to redevelop the area. The station deals with over 140,000 passengers each day, making it the busiest outside of London. Construction started in April 2010, with work initially commencing on the platform's refurbishment. Access to the station will soon change, with both the Smallbrook Greenway and Victoria Square entrances closing, at which point passengers will then be required to use the new entrance situated at Stevenson Street and Hill Street.
So how is transport being affected?
Well Alex, it's hard to tell just how the construction has affected the station as a whole, but I have here with me Fraser Price, who could better answer that question. So Fraser, how often do you use the trains at the station?
I use the trains pretty much every day. I go to uni just the other side of this entrance, get off at Victoria Square, so it's pretty much constant in my daily transport.
How do you feel the transport has been affected by this?
I haven't really noticed the difference. I mean, the trains are usually delayed by 5 or 10 minutes, but in terms of finding my platform, I haven't really noticed a difference at all.
Okay, and we talked about this earlier, but how do you think the new entrances to the station will affect your journey?
Yeah, the streets you mentioned, I don't really know where they are, so I'll have to plan a new way to uni, which could really affect my journey time.
Thank you for your time. Now back to you at the studio.
Thanks Dan. Now over to Edward for the weather.
Well Alex, ice is going to be a major hazard up and down the region tomorrow. We'll have wintry showers heading down from the north. Most of these will fall around the coast, but the ones to consider are these that are moving inland for the early morning commute. It could be quite tricky getting into the city centre at this point of the day. Overall, it's a cold start to the morning, but temperatures will increase throughout the day. Moving on to around lunchtime now, there are going to be some light showers across the Midlands with temperatures up and down like a yo-yo in between the downpours, eventually reaching a peak of around 5 or 6 degrees. But when those showers are around, it'll probably be a little bit closer to freezing. Now tomorrow night it's going to be a particularly cold one across the Midlands. With skies clearing, the winds falling light, we are definitely going to be seeing a hard frost, with the coldest areas of the region seeing temperatures as low as -6 degrees as we enter the early hours. This is going to be one of those days, I'm afraid. Here's your summary.
Thanks for that, Ed. And thanks to you for watching at home. You've been watching Birmingham City News with me, Alex Sharp. Good night.